Second to look at some of the new data coming in. Here we are, the Roofing 911 Skycam downtown Beaumont, 81 degrees there. This is over in Lake Charles. No storms in the Lake Charles metro, but these will cycle through, so we'll get some other vantage points around southeast Texas. Again, if you're just tuning in, we've interrupted programming right now because of tornado warnings in effect for Hardin and northern Jefferson counties, particularly around Bevel Oaks, Sour Lake. Start thinking about where you need to go to get to a safe spot. No, it's a rough time with kids getting out of school on a Monday afternoon, but at this point this is Doppler indicated. Control, and we can also flip over back to his graphics for just a second. I know Patrick's looking at some of his new information coming in with the scan, but you can see hail is also a concern with this storm. This is the hail scan from our 12 storm trackers. Again, back on the weather computer if you can, control room, and we'll get you that new information just coming in, because Hardin County, you have got a storm that is definitely producing, as Patrick was indicating, large hail. Patrick's mic is still up. I know he's looking at some of the new data coming in, but again, we have interrupted programming because of this severe thunderstorm warning and now a tornado warning in effect because of this severe thunderstorm for areas just northwest of Beaumont. The whole storm, though, is moving southeast at this point. Patrick, I'll send it back over to you. How big is this hail core?
That's what I'm trying to indicate right now.
Okay.
Bevel Oaks is going to be seeing hail, and back over towards near Lumberton, in excess of 1 inch size hail, no doubt about that. Probably.
So that's larger than quarters.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah, so this would be a situation, even if you're not on the part of the storm that's capable of producing that tornado, get your car to a safe spot if at all possible. Again, Patrick, you think this is going to miss Lumberton, kind of looking at that Highway 69 corridor just south of Lumberton?
It's going to be close. 2 inch size hail with this.
Oh my goodness. So obviously a severe thunderstorm as well.
Yes.
And now we've switched back to the Doppler reflectivity mode and the winds. And this is really giving you an idea of where the storm could produce that tornado. Patrick, can you at least draw in or indicate where that would be on this for us?
Yes. Right in this area right here.
Okay. So sort of a broad area of rotation at this point.
Yes, and it continues moving southeast, as you said.
Yeah, so this is just north of Highway 105. This is the latest scan from the Doppler radar. It's always good to look at. Patrick tells us more, but whether it's red or green, that indicates whether the winds are moving toward or away from the radar site. So kind of a broad area of rotation along the 105 area. Sour Lake, this would basically be over you if this was anything, right, Patrick? Just looking at this is east of Sour Lake, I see.
Yeah, that looks like Bevel Oaks in that area, and along 105 is what it looks like.
2 inch size hail expected in areas. Again, that would be with the core of that storm just west of Lumberton as the whole thing pushes southeast at this point.
Correct.
If you're just tuning in, I know everybody's phones went off. There's a lot of concern. We just want to underscore this is a Doppler indicated storm that is capable of producing a tornado. But Patrick, look at the lightning with that.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me stop it. And just in the last 15 minutes within this box that I'm drawing, over 500 lightning strikes. So power outages are possible if any of those strikes obviously hit electrical lines of that nature.
Right. That's why we've interrupted program. We usually only come on when there is a pretty dire weather situation, and once we had that tornado warning issue, we wanted our storm trackers to be with you. We also have Carrie Cooper in as well. Carrie, we'll get you a mic as well in case you want to help Patrick out here during this severe weather event. But our storm trackers are, rest assured, watching this very closely. You're watching them in action as they look at the winds and track exactly where this storm is headed. Carrie, they are getting you a microphone. So that's why we're on the air right now. Hail is a big concern as well. Is that what you flipped over to? Or is that
this is just a different type of scan, without a doubt. Large hail coming into Lumberton right there.
Okay. Folks, we want you to be safe, but obviously if you're seeing this at your house and you're in a safe spot, maybe you want to safely get photos or videos. Of course, we will be happy to receive those here at 12 News. You can always text them to us, 409-838-1212. Again, we're on the air right now as a tornado warning continues until 3:45 for Jefferson County. We also have the southern part of Hardin County under this as well because of the severe thunderstorm that is pushing to the south and east. Patrick and the storm tracker's been watching this. In fact, we were just chatting about 30 minutes ago before these storms really started to pulse up, because the whole system is now pushing southeast, and there's looks like a chance that obviously these will impact portions of Jefferson County as well. So that's why we're with you on the air. We understand you're missing your programming, and we apologize for that, but we work hard to put Southeast Texas first, and when there's weather, we got to come to you. So that's why we're going to stay on the air for just a bit longer. Carrie Cooper is also getting mic'd up as well. And I do want to hear from both of you guys. Patrick, if you are prepared, we'll send it back over to you momentarily.
Okay. I'm just looking at it. The hail seems to be weakening in the latest scan. And rotation, I'm still waiting for the next scan to come on in. It comes in about every 3 minutes.
Okay.
And they're just broad rotation. I don't see anything that clearly says that there is something on the ground. You know, we look for debris balls in this particular scan, and I don't see that right now. So, you know, not to say that it's impossible to have a tornado out of this, but there is definite rotation, but I don't see anything definitive that there's anything definitely on the ground. The big issue is hail coming on down, as you can see, maybe weakening a bit on some of these scans as this cell moves on to the south and east. So that's where we're at right now, Jordan.
Yeah, the hail component, even if you're not in the part of the storm that could produce the most significant rotation, which could develop obviously into something worse, the tornado word. But yeah, Lumberton, you're about to get slammed regardless. Coming across the main split there with Main Street and Highway 69, the 96 split there, the Y at the south end of town. We are really watching the lightning with this. Carrie Cooper is also with us in the Storm Tracker Center. We should be able to hear from him in just a moment as well, as we watch this rapidly developing severe thunderstorm pushing through Hardin County and now knocking on the doorstep of northern Jefferson County. Again, we have tornado warnings in effect until 3:45 because of this. This is the Doppler mode where Patrick checks out the winds and what's moving toward and away from the radar site. I know it looks a little different than what you're used to seeing on your phone when you open the radar, but this is what our weather team and our storm trackers really like to zero in on in these dangerous situations. And there now, the hail scan, Patrick saying that the 2-inch hail that was reported earlier looks like it's weakening. So that's great news for your cars and your roofs around the Lumberton area. Patrick, I'll send it over to you. Okay,
just give you a quick update. The cell continues to move. Okay, they've just issued a flash flood warning for this cell. I'm trying to get information on that. Carrie, if you could look at that. Flash flood warning for southern sections of Hardin County and northern Jefferson County, because the rainfall rates are pretty impressive, probably in excess of 2-inch rainfall rates per hour. Let me put that on and check that out. Yeah,
say again, Carrie?
We just got a flash flood warning issued for northern Jefferson County. Yeah. Northern Jefferson County and Hardin County under a flash flood warning, and let me see if I can't get that on there for you. But the rainfall rate, yeah, flash flood warning until 7:15. We turn that off, and we're looking at rainfall rates right there in the V between Lumberton and Silsbee in excess of 2 to 3 inch rainfall inches per hour is what we're looking at right now.
2 to 3, and you know, this storm has been sitting over Hardin County
exactly
for more than an hour now at this point. So yeah, obviously ponding is going to be a huge concern. Folks, if you're trying to go get your kids, you know, we realize this is the time when school lets out. This is a pretty rough time to get out of your house. Even if we don't have a tornado that's developing, there's the hail associated with this severe thunderstorm and a ton of lightning over Hardin County, and now we have Hardin County, the flash flood warning. Our apologies for that typo. Stuff's coming in fast, folks, as we track this developing severe storm. Patrick, back over to you.
Okay, Jordan, don't see much change. I'm still waiting for a new scan to come in. Just heavy rainfall, lots of lightning, and in Lumberton, without a doubt, a severe thunderstorm. As far as tornado, just nothing definitive. Yes. Again, just because it's not definitive does not mean it can't occur. I don't see anything that is saying that there is a debris ball on the ground. So that's good news there. But again, we don't want to let our guard down. as this continues to move off to the south and east. Still some hail there right along the Pine Island Bayou, North Beaumont, as this continues to push on off to the southeast. Extremely heavy rainfall. Silsbee back to Lumberton and near Kuntz, also southern sections of Hardin County, again as this moves off to the southeast at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Okay, that flash flood warning continues until 7:15. Rainfall rates between 2 to 3 inches per hour are falling. Some areas 2 to 5 inches have fallen in through southern sections of Hardin County. Let me see if I can put that on there and show you the rainfall that Doppler radar seems to think has fallen. It's an estimate in and around southern Hardin County. Let's see. There you go. Very heavy rainfall.
Definitely piling up. I want to bring in Storm Tracker meteorologist Carrie Cooper into the conversation as well as we watch some of the data that's coming in. It sounds like from the rotation component. Talk about that, because everybody's seeing the tornado warnings on their phones and thinking, you know, how dire is this? We have memories of January. It hadn't been that long. What are you thinking in terms of the rotation? Are you that concerned?
Not real concerned right now about anything on the ground. Not getting any confirmation all of a tornado on the ground. It's radar indicated. It's still pretty stout, though. So we'll take a look at radar real quick. Of course, Patrick was looking at the rainfall totals, but Patrick, how's the rotation looking now?
It's moved south of 105, right?
Yeah, it's
if
picked
it
up
did
maybe a
exist.
little bit of speed in the last 15 minutes, not much. I think the biggest threat right now is very heavy rainfall, but still some weak rotation east of Pinewood Estates there, northwest of Beaumont, Gilbert community, south of Lumberton. Very weak, though. So that's the good news. Hopefully this will continue to weaken as it moves on off to the southeast. So probably getting some strong gusty winds too in this, 30, 40, maybe some 50 mile an hour gust in this. Hadn't checked that yet, but I think the big concern earlier was the hail, and now it's the heavy rain. But hopefully this will speed up a little bit. We won't have any major flooding concerns.
You and I were talking earlier. I mean, it looks like this thing is sort of building down into Jefferson County.
It is, and models were showing that earlier today. It took forever, but it finally did. These storms were actually moving eastward earlier today from East Liberty County, and those continue to move off to the east. But they were expected to build south into the triangle, and that's exactly what has happened at the present time. And took a little while, but it's finally happened. Of course, these storms are very intense. Of course, the main thing is the atmosphere is very unstable. A lot of energy in the atmosphere, what we call CAPE values. Energies are pretty high. So once we get showers and thunderstorms going, doesn't take them long to become strong to severe. But you can see as we look into Jefferson and Hardin County, southeastern Hardin County right now, it's showing the very heavy thunderstorms across the area. A little weak rotation there. Radar indicated, still nothing confirmed on the ground. That's the good news. Of course, we'll continue to watch this very closely over the next hour and a half or so as it sags on off to the southeast in the triangle. Orange County, you're in pretty good shape right now. Main concern is probably from about Rose City northwestward. That's where the heaviest rains will be, the hail and the strong gusty winds across portions of southeast Texas. A little bit of weak rotation there, not real strong, radar indicated, so that is the good news there. Now this will continue to work on slowly to the southeast, eventually down toward Mid-County and Port Arthur in the next hour or two, and some of this will spread eastward into portions of Orange County as well. But once again, tornado warning in effect till 3:45 p.m. Radar indicated rotation as it continues to work on off to the southeast around 15 miles an hour. So hoping just continue to be radar indicated and nothing on the ground. Jordan?
Yeah, I don't know if we can zoom in while we've got you there at the wall, Carrie, so you can really pinpoint. I realize it's a broad area. That's a weather term for meaning that there's no tight spinning, right?
Right. Exactly. It's going to spread out a little bit, and that's good news, too. It's going to have a large circulation, but it's fairly weak. Nothing confirmed on the ground yet. If we get that, of course, we'll pass that along, but nothing as far as a debris ball or anything like that. Still watching out for that. You can see the rotation right in this area here. So not as strong as it was earlier, but officially still a tornado warning in effect till 3:45 for northwestern Jefferson, southeastern Hardin counties, and of course that flood warning in effect for another couple hours as well. It's slow moving too. That's a big concern, getting some big rains in a short amount of time in a short area across portions of southeast Texas. So some wind gusts there to 38 miles an hour, so velocity's 32. So it's come down a little bit, Jordan.
Yeah.
That's what we want to continue to see the next half hour.
Wouldn't be surprised at this point listening to you if they don't allow this thing to, at least the tornado warning component, to perhaps expire.
Exactly. See the very heavy rains, lots of lightning over Lumberton, back down to just northwest of Beaumont now. Heavy rains back to the west toward Pinewood Estates, Sour Lake. But as you can see, the rotation very, very weak there. But we continue with that tornado warning for another few more minutes anyway, and we'll see if it weakens as it continues to move on off to the southeast at around 20 to 30 miles an hour. There's reflectivity again, showing the heavy thunderstorms now about to move into Beaumont, just to the northwest of Beaumont, just north of Parkdale Mall, up to Lumberton, getting the heaviest rains this afternoon. That's why that flood warning is in effect. So remember, water's over the road, don't drive through it, turn around, don't drown, is our saying. Very heavy rains there and lots of lightning, hundreds of lightning strikes right now across portions of Hardin County and northwestern Jefferson County. Just to the northeast, early heights there, getting a little bit of hail still. Well, the hail size too has come down a little bit too. That's certainly good news there. We had some larger hail indications earlier. That has come down a little bit too, so that's certainly good news. So hopefully this was just a big flare-up. Things will wind down in a half hour or so. Of course, there weren't any watches or anything like that out earlier for
That's
Southeast
right.
Texas.
That's right. This was kind of a fast-developing storm.
Yeah, and kind of a small complex system, not a big widespread severe weather event, kind of a mesoscale type event in sense, to a large area anyway, but still very heavy thunderstorms moving southeast, especially right over Lumberton up to Silsbee, heading eventually into Beaumont, probably as far east as the Vider area here in the next 15 to 20 minutes as we continue to monitor as it works on that. But look at the lightning strikes as we talked about earlier. The last 15 minutes, 339 strikes. That is down too. So that's good news. That's fewer. It's coming down. So that's an indication to us that the whole complex hopefully is slowly weakening.
Yeah, we may tell our control room friends we probably need to switch to generator here as this thing knocks on our doorsteps in Beaumont. I don't know if we can do that while we're on the air, but we'll be with you as long as we can. But yes, we do have backup power here.
At least as of reflectivity, precipitation has weakened a little bit over the past 15 minutes when I saw it, and certainly not a lot of rotation left at all. That's certainly good news there. But strong gusty winds, some small hail, certainly a lot of lightning still likely over the next half hour to 1 hour, and eventually moving into the north side of Beaumont and into Beaumont. And you can see the winds across portions of the area. The hail core there just to the south and southeast of Lumberton, it is continuing to shrink a little bit as well. Certainly not as large as it was earlier. So Jordan, that's great news as well.
All right, folks, we are going to conclude our live on air coverage as this storm continues weakening. We know you're hearing the rain, thunder, and all that good stuff as it comes into Beaumont right now. But the good news, Carrie, is it sounds like the rotation and the tornadic possibilities are going down.
They are, and that's the great news. Kind of flared up there, and that doesn't surprise me. We were pretty unstable today. We got pretty warm, had a little sun peek through, upper level disturbance. We talked about it over the weekend. It'll be each day this week. Tomorrow looks very active as well. Late morning into the afternoon, we may see a repeat of this coming up for Tuesday.
All right, so we've got flash flood warnings ongoing. Our team is here. We've got Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn and Carrie Cooper here. We're going to take one live look outside from our Skycam as we prepare to wrap things up. Here it is, moving into downtown Beaumont right now. You can see, my goodness, the significant amount of lightning just over the courthouse there as the storm bears down on us here in Beaumont. Winds right now out of the north, sustained at 37 downtown Beaumont right now. Patrick, we are preparing to sign off. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break from our live team coverage and return you to regular programming. A reminder, at 4 o'clock, we'll be on the air with The Beat on KJAC, NBC, and we'll be back as conditions warrant.
And the good news is nothing confirmed on the ground, just radar indicated of showers and thunderstorms, possibly a rain-wrapped tornado, but nothing confirmed on the ground. That's certainly good news. Jordan?
Yeah, and we should mention, Kerry, also, of course, we had that tornado warning earlier around Sour Lake, Bevel Oaks. Nothing confirmed with that one either, right?
No, not at all. They were radar indicated. Some decent circulation. Wasn't real strong circulation, but it was decent. Nothing confirmed on the ground. That was the good news. And by far the severe weather threat just about over for our viewing area, as this storm now has moved into southwestern Louisiana. We'll continue with this tornado warning just for a couple more minutes and it moves on out. The rest of the area, light to moderate rain for the next hour or two. Then things will be winding down, but unfortunately we may have a repeat of this coming up across southeast Texas coming up for tomorrow.
Okay, not fun to hear. Thank you,
No.
sir. All over southeast Texas, you have been sending us your photos. This was earlier as the storm rolled into downtown Beaumont. Again, this was with that system that came in around 3:30 this afternoon. So really impressive shot, likely from the top of Edison Plaza there, looking off to the north as that storm rolled in. We'll flip through some of the others that we've received. This is a tree down in the west end of Beaumont. Again, this was with the earlier storm that hit us during the 3 o'clock hour. So yeah, we are getting some scattered reports of damage and of course power outages as well. And we'll share a couple more photos and videos with you this afternoon. This was in downtown Port Neches. Scary looking view there along the avenue there in Port Neches. And then there's this shot from that was Port Neches. And look at this, Kerry. This was Lumberton. You know, you always see that greenish blue tint in the clouds. This was the storm that was producing hail, no doubt, earlier this afternoon. And those are some really impressive views there. Kerry, I understand we need to go back to you with an update on the storm.
Yeah, the tornado warning for Orange County is expired. That's great news. It's moved into southwest Louisiana. That's the good news. We've said this for the last couple of hours. Thankfully, and moving quickly out of the area. Now, there's been about 9,000 power outages in Orange and Orange County. So a lot of folks without power, and it'll probably be several hours for a lot of that's restored. But let's look at radar again. Severe thunderstorm that's tornado warned is now east of the Sabine River. So that's great news as it continues to work into southwestern Louisiana, Calcasieu Parish, eventually toward Vinton, Sulphur, and Lake Charles. Lots of hail within this thunderstorm here. From Orange back over to Vidor, rains are calming down. That's good news. Just some small hail reported earlier across portions of southern Orange County. Had some bigger hail around Vidor though, and you see the thing continuing to work on off to the east around Toomey Starks, eventually north of Hackberry on over towards Sulphur and Lake Charles. Will be seeing the severe weather over the next hour. There's that hail scan again. Pretty impressive there, southeast of Orange into southwestern Louisiana, 1.7. Pretty impressive hail sizes, especially for our part of the country, and that would do some damage. But thankfully, it's moving away. We got a break from the storms tonight. Very impressive hail core here in southwestern Louisiana, Calcasieu Parish, southeast of Orange, moving on off to the east. So, Jordan, things are looking better. We still have that flood warning for Hardin County, but the water will be draining off shortly, too, since it's mainly just moderate rain left over, just some sprinkles around Beaumont. Portions of Hardin County, some moderate rain back on into portions of Hardin County up into the lakes area. Things are slowly improving. They're going to over the next hour or two, and that's great news as the storms march off away from southeast Texas. Jordan?
Sounds like we need time for things to drain off with what could be coming tomorrow, perhaps?
Yeah, I could see, you know, it's hard to say what exact areas is going to get hit. That's impossible to do.
Right.
But the potential's there for more heavy storms tomorrow and a couple inches of rain, maybe more in a few spots.
Some people had quite a few couple of inches today, right? Hardin County especially?
Over half a foot in some areas.
Okay. We're going to take a look at the power situation right now. Carol, you were mentioning those outages around Orange County. We see a lot of red on the Entergy power grid right now. 9,000 customers in the dark in and around Orange County. All the red indicates places where the power is down. Looks like most of downtown, scattered outages along the Interstate 10 corridor. And as we go back to the east, to the west just a little bit, looks like some outages as well, perhaps around Vidor, east of Vidor. So yeah, much of Orange County going to be in the dark for a bit tonight. We know they're down power lines, so please, if you see one in your neighborhood, assume it's live. Until the energy crews can get out there and assess the situation. Our 12 News Storm Tracker is also on the roads right now, and I understand we've got live pictures. We've been making our way all around the region. Here we are at the I-10-69 split just coming north out of Beaumont, where you can see rain is an issue for sure, even in the areas where the severe storms have long since passed. We've got the residual rain, light to moderate rain, that's going to make for a slow go carry on that evening commute. We know the traffic always backlogs here as you approach all the construction
Always
there
does.
along 69. Ponding, right there, we're
Yes.
seeing the huge puddles as our crew definitely hits the brakes here as we head north. So this is going to be one of those days, slow go anywhere. We've been hearing about kiddos being a little late getting out of school this afternoon. I know some of the BISD campuses did a bit of a delayed release, but that's what you needed as this storm rolled through Beaumont earlier. I believe we're going to stay on the air now about 7 minutes to the start of our 5 o'clock newscast, so we'll just stay with you here. The good news as we come back to the radar and carry at our weather center tonight, the good news is the most severe storms have now pushed across the state line, right?
They have. They're in Calcasieu Parish down southwestern Louisiana. No more tornado warning for far eastern Orange County. That's good news. The heaviest storms extend from southeast to Deweyville back down to almost Vinton and Starks. Now be moving towards Sulphur and Lake Charles the next half hour. Back down to Port Arthur behind that. Mainly just light rain around Vidor. Some light to moderate rain still in around Beaumont, Lumberton, and it's ending out to the southwest. So things will be improving this evening. That's the good news, and we'll see some quieter weather for overnight, which we'll need because we could see more showers and thunderstorms coming up for tomorrow across southeast Texas. That's for sure. At least the potential's there for that anyway. The atmosphere today was very unstable. We talked about that over the weekend. If you watch the weathercast, we knew we was going to have some heating today. Lots of moisture, a lot of moisture. So the energy available in the atmosphere was there. All we needed was that spark. We saw the thunderstorms developing off to our northwest. For a while, they were moving mainly east. It looked like they were going to stay north of the triangle, but some of our computer models were indicating that line would move into the triangle, and that's exactly what happened. We saw the heavy storms start moving back to the southeast into the triangle, pick up speed, and now located across portions of central Louisiana. Of course, remember, especially if you're watching us from Hardin County, you still have that flood warning in effect till 7. So if you see water over the road, turn around, don't drown. That's our saying. And it'll be draining off, though, fairly quickly, Jordan.
All right, let's get another live look outside if we can on the roofing 911 Skycam, and you can see we've paused our rotation. This is over at the Horseman's Western Store. Conditions are improving, but definitely a slow go on this stretch of I-10 through Orange County. Remember, we were just talking about the power outages there. I believe we have power here at our Horseman's Western Store Skycam. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be seeing these live pictures. So it looks like this is one of the spots. Yeah, and I can see that gas station in the distance still has electricity, but a lot of Orange County does not. The energy map is showing roughly 9,000 customers in the dark in Orange County right now. So a pretty serious situation for the energy crews. They're waiting for the severe and the leftover storms to pass, for that light to get out of the area so that they can get their crews out to begin assessing the repairs. We do want to let you know that we're going to have extended storm tracker coverage coming up on 12 News at 5 in just a couple of minutes on ABC. If you are watching us on NBC, on ABC, we will have continuing coverage. So many of you know that as KBMT. We'd encourage you to switch over at 5 o'clock. We will be with you live with extended weather coverage. Again, right now, the severe storms have crossed the state line into Louisiana. You are looking live at our storm tracker. Join us on ABC at the top of the hour. Hey, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here she comes.
Do you hear me now?
Now we do.
One, yes.
Yes, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mic check 1, 2.
Into the wall right now, you know. Yeah, weather mic check, weather. Yeah.
Now at 5, tragedy at Riverfest. The professional boat racer who lost his life during the big weekend race, plus the status of another racer who was injured. Also tonight, preparing for the surge of migrants. The new task force Governor Abbott has appointed as the end of Title 42 nears. And not the cake, the wedding cake that went for an unexpected joyride. What it took for one Bridge City couple to still have cake on their special day. 12 News at 5 starts now. First things first, an alert from our 12 News storm trackers. Severe storms exploded over southeast Texas this afternoon, producing lots of lightning and torrential rain. At one point, we had several counties under a tornado warning, but thankfully, nothing developed. And as you look live tonight, side by side, we've got our live Roofing 911 Skycam over in Orange, where it's still raining. That's at the Horseman's Western Store. And our live mobile storm tracker headed toward Lumberton tonight. We understand there are power outages up there, and our crew
thunderstorms there west of Silsbee, actually around Kuntz on Highway 326 there on up to the north into portions of western Tyler County. These may become severe in the next 15-20 minutes possibly as they work on off to the northeast at about 15 miles an hour. This area is also, remember, under a flash flood warning until 7:15 where they had over a half a foot of rain in some areas of Hardin County earlier. So some pretty heavy thunderstorms there. And the heavy storms we had earlier have now moved into southwestern Louisiana. You see the showers and thunderstorms still west of Woodville. So some of the areas in the lakes that didn't see much earlier like we did, getting some pretty heavy storms now. These are weakening a little bit west of Woodville, so that's good news there. Back down to the Triangle as we continue with a radar tour. We're covering all of southeast Texas from start, stop, all across the entire area because some areas had a lot more than others. Speaking of a lot of rain, look at that, almost 7 inches earlier just to the north of Kuntz in Hardin County. 2s, 3s, and 4 inches scattered everywhere. Almost 2 inches Mauriceville, 2 inches right around Bridge City. Of course, the big winner, though, in Hardin County, seeing the heavy showers and storms there. We'll get a break in the rain tonight, but as we talked about earlier, the bad news is we got another very good chance coming up tomorrow. Talking about low pressure cutting off in the mid-atmosphere. See this just to our west. Look at the low developing, kind of cutting off in the mid-atmosphere. It's going to set there most of the day tomorrow as it works slowly to the northeast, eventually to the north. Look how much moisture we have across southeast Texas. So another very good chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Some of these could be pretty heavy. Then we'll see fewer showers coming up by Wednesday, Thursday, but even then, a lot of scattered storms still around. Rains eventually ending across the area later this evening. Temperatures in the upper 60s to around 70 overnight. Might even see a break or two in the clouds, believe it or not, here and there, but we'll cloud right back up. Notice tomorrow morning fairly quiet, but once we start heating up mid to late morning into the early afternoon hours, notice the showers and thunderstorms developing again and spreading to the north around that area of low pressure in the mid-atmosphere off to our west. So we'll give it a 70% coverage, showers and thunderstorms for your Tuesday. Could be some 1 to 2 inch rains in a few spots tomorrow. Hopefully not a repeat, though, as what we've had today. But that potential, unfortunately, is there. Offshore, we'll see south to southeast winds up to 15 knots. Water temperature 76 in the Gulf. So marine forecast away from thunderstorms, not too bad. Lakes in the Triangle, we'll give it a 30 to 40% coverage for the next few hours. Then things winding down, upper 60s to lower 70s. And for your Tuesday, 70% coverage, showers and storms. Lakes in the Triangle, highs in the upper 70s to lower 80s across the area. A lot of instability in the atmosphere again tomorrow for some of those storms to become fairly heavy. Let's take a look at your 10-day forecast. 70% coverage coming up tomorrow. Some heavy storms are possible. It does drop to 50% for Wednesday, Thursday, but that's still half the area getting storms Wednesday and Thursday. Lows in the 70s, highs in the 80s. We'll drop it to 40% Friday, Saturday. That's still scattered storms. Of course, Mother's Day on Sunday, 30%. Then back to 40% for Monday. So pretty active weather pattern. We talked about that last week, and I talked about it this weekend, how it looked active for the next week or so, and that seems to be the case.
Oh my goodness. Well, Carrie, we'll let you regroup. You're doing a great job. You and Patrick both tracking things for us. We're going to actually come back to you in just a couple of minutes, maybe for another look at the radar. All right.
Look at it again.
Right now we have to pause because we have to announce a senior spotlight.
The 12 News Senior Shoutout, brought to you by BISD and Common Sense Credit Union.